right, day 2, we're really actually exploring the main tools of our whole practice moving forward. That is our mind, our pen, and our paper. Our practice of free writing, which is really the time we choose to do it and the place we choose to do it. The artist's date, which is the space we create for ourselves in our process and our calendar. And the timed exercise, which is we're going to look at Pomodoro technique and how that's connected to our projects. Okay, tools. Our mind and our mindset is the most important tool, which is why we read this section on Natalie Goldberg. Pages 5 through 10 are the essay on beginner's mind, pen and paper, and first thoughts around the timed exercise. Mind, pen, and paper is about basically, so our mind is where we start. Our mind, our presence, our attitude towards the pages is our first tool that you can practice with, experiment with, so on and so forth. Our pen is what we write with. Different pens or different pencils give us a different kind of experience. You might try to play around or mess around with that. Paper, looking at what kinds of paper, what if it's loose leaf or attached, size of the notebook. I like these little moleskin notebooks are my favorite. Bigger notebooks might work for you. Finding a notebook that works for you. She says, I just want to end on this. She says, experiment. Try writing with a big pad or writing on loose piece of paper. Then she says, choose your tools carefully, but not so carefully that you get uptight or spend more time at the stationery store than at your writing table. So I love that. Just have fun playing with that, experiment with that. Secondly, we did free writing as an exercise in class, but again, the rules for free writing is that you're not trying to write well. You're not judging your writing. You're not rereading what you're writing as you're writing it. You are just writing as much as you can and being as present as you can, being aware of where your thoughts are going. If your thought goes somewhere else, that's fine. You can write about that, or you can just notice that you're bring your attention back. So our free writing practice is really also our mindfulness practice to ground ourselves in the presence and the trust in our experience as it's unfolding that we built on in day 1. The Artist's Date is in the context from Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way that I really like, and is actually surprisingly challenging to be able to schedule a 1 to 2 hour chunk in your week, or longer if you can, that's just dedicated to you doing something playful and rejuvenating with your inner child that is or is not connected to your goals in this course. So thinking about giving yourself the space to play and have a more playful attitude, or like just for this amount of time, taking your artist out on a date. That's from the basic tools section of The Artist's Way, where she also goes over morning pages, which is another variety of free writing. Julia Cameron recommends that you do your free writing at the very beginning of your morning before your day starts, and I've also found this suggestion to be incredibly helpful. As soon as my day gets going and I start thinking of all the things I want or need to do, little notifications are popping up, blah, 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 blah. It gets harder to just show up to the page with a sense of presence. So the morning pages, I'm also, during the duration of this course, personally, I am not looking at my phone until I do my pages. So I've got tea, coffee, pages before I look at my phone at all, just to make sure that I have a moment to connect with myself, do some free writing with as much of an open mind as possible, which happens early in the morning. The last bit of a tool that we're going to explore is the idea of a timed exercise. Natalie Goldberg does write about this in her essay. I think it's called Writing First Thoughts. The basic unit of writing practice is the timed exercise. You may time yourself for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or an hour. It's up to you. 5 minutes actually is a good timed exercise as well. The timed exercise moves beyond just writing practice, though, and goes into all different kinds of creative practices that could connect to your project. There's a Pomodoro technique that you set a 25-minute timer and then give yourself 5 minutes to break, decompress, reset. So you're never working too long, and you're always trying to work with focus towards what your project might be. So as you go through the course, you might experiment with scheduling time, blocks of time that feel stable and set to you to be able to move forward on your project, whatever that is, using that project as a way to cultivate greater presence and awareness of yourself and your process on the good life. These are the main tools that we're going to be using throughout the duration of the workshop. Our state of mind, our writing utensils and how we write, our practice of just showing up to the page at a certain time every day, preferably to build in a routine and habit so you don't have to think about it, our ability to take ourselves out on a date to nourish ourselves and help ourselves, and our ability to set time on our calendar to make solid progress towards our project goals, whatever those might be. Hope this helps, and on to day 3.